This isn't just another comet story. Something very powerful is aligning in the skies on October the 21st. Then again on the 29th, setting off a ripple effect that's going to have ramification on space weather, on Earth weather, on geology, and most importantly, on collective consciousness and what goes on and what's going to happen from here on out on planet Earth. So here are your 3i Atlas updates for the great changes that are about to begin. Hi, I'm Adam and welcome to the Medium channel. We've got a lot to cover as we're starting to see the changes already. Firstly, before I dive into this 3i Atlas update, I believe that there's a 95% chance that this is indeed an interstellar object, but that doesn't mean that there's a 0% chance that it's some kind of alien craft. And I know of some really good and knowledgeable people that believe that, but I'm also going to explain why I believe on a whole different level, or on a level that we don't understand, why I'm 100% sure that it's some kind of alien technology or intelligence. So I'll explain that in a minute. As well, we're starting to hear a lot about people believing that this may be the rapture or sign of the rapture, or our sign that we're shifting out of the 3D and going to 5D or higher. And again, there's some truth to that, I believe, but maybe not as many people believe it. So I'm going to explain all of that in this 3i Atlas update and why this is the great cosmic shift, why we're seeing the signs in that. So I've got a lot of this in my notes. I'm going to break down the significance of the dates October the 21st and October the 29th, why there's such huge dates in our trajectory of our spiritual evolution here on planet Earth, and what this means for humanity and the great cosmic shift, and what to expect on planet Earth, and what to expect out of what's going on with this interstellar object. So anyway, near the end, we'll explain what I think it is, and what I think it means, and why we need to be ready for these changes. So anyway, I released a video on August the 21st based on remote viewing and remote sensing that I did in the middle of August. And Spirit had me use a green comet on the thumbnail, but that was 3 weeks before the comet turned green. So I just wanted to mention that just to let you guys know that I've been picking things up about this interstellar object before things were known. I'll flash the video above, but keep in mind that very little was known at the time that I filmed the video and did the remote viewing. So anyways, October the 21st, this is when 3i Atlas will go into its superior conjunction with the sun, as well as the sun and the moon are in what's called inferior conjunction. That just means the moon's in front of the sun, and 3i Atlas is behind the sun from our perspective from Earth. So this is very important, and I've got a lot of my notes again. So there's that sun-moon in conjunction. It's a new moon. 3i Atlas in superior conjunction. And this is really affects the inner solar system circuitry. And based on some new finding in science, we're seeing that the way the planets are moving, the electrical fields and the gravitational pull of the planets, like for example, Mercury, when it orbits the sun, it creates a little wobble in the sun. So the gravitational effects of the planets do affect solar activity that can enhance solar storms and stuff. Now, you bring 3i Atlas, which has a very large dusty plasma coma, about half the diameter of the sun, according to infrared imagery. That's a lot of energy. Plasma or ions, it's electrical in nature, and it's very, very dense. So at that distance, I don't expect it to have a huge gravitational effect on the sun, but it's certainly going to affect the inner planet circuitry and enhance solar activity. So that's an important date, because that superior conjunction, that alignment is going to charge the energetic fields of the Earth, of consciousness. It's going to affect the geology, the meteorology, and consciousness and collective consciousness. And that's really the key here. So what else is going on? So there's also R2 SWAN comet that's also going to be at its perigee to the Earth on October the 20th. So it's right there on the 21st. Now, both of these objects are passing through the solar system on the elliptical plane. And based on that and other things that are going on, like when 3i Atlas is closest to the Earth and closest to the sun, we're not going to be able to see it. And to have two objects of that significance pass along the elliptical plane, which means that it's having a longer and a stronger effect on the sun and the solar system, and you put everything together, those are lottery odds, which is why there's so much conjecture of this being more than just some random interstellar object. So anyway, what else is going on? Adds that there's the NASA shutdown happening right at this time, and the object's hidden from Earth view. So you get the picture, right? So there's a whole bunch of planetary geometry that's going on right around the time of October the 21st. Jupiter is squaring the sun and moon and 3i Atlas for that matter. And Mercury is conjuncting Mars, trining Jupiter. And we're already seeing the effects. Now, I'm filming this on the 13th of October, due to be released on the 14th. We're already seeing the effects. Like 3i Atlas is already starting to come into, it's not in a full alignment or full conjunction yet, but it's starting to energetically and geometrically come into that alignment. And we're seeing the sun has gone from next to nothing to a lot of significant sunspots in just a couple of days, and we just had a high-speed coronal hole impact, and we're due to have two more coronal mass ejection impact. So all this is ramping up. So we're starting to see that. We just had 2 7+ magnitude earthquakes here on the Earth. We've had storms really blow up and do very, very crazy things. Floods, droughts, extreme weather's ramping up. So we're seeing the effects already, and it's only beginning to come into that alignment now. So also we're seeing the effects on our bodies and on our consciousness. And we're seeing it in the world around us, and decisions that are made and movements that are happening in the world. So you may be feeling very differently. You may need more rest. You may not be getting rest. Your nutritional needs may change. So the idea is to do your spiritual work now, but I'm going to get more into that in a minute. Now on October the 29th, that's when 3i Atlas will be at its perihelion, or its closest approach to the sun. Or am I getting that confused with its closest approach to the Earth? Let me check in my notes. So while still in the position of a waning superior conjunction, 3i Atlas makes its perihelion to the sun. Yeah, that's right. The closest approach to the Earth is going to be on December the 19th. So my brain is working, and we're back online here. So the moon will be squaring. It'll be in its first quarter. So the moon's going to be squaring the sun when it's happened. Mercury's going to be opposing Uranus. And I might add, during both of these alignments, the 4 outer planets are in harmonious alignment. So this is planetary geometry. Each planet has an electromagnetic signature. And when they come into certain geometrical alignment, that affects, again, the electrical circuitry, the electromagnetic circuitry, the inner solar system. It affects the sun. It enhances the space weather and all that stuff. Scientists slowly starting to prove that, by the way, and they're starting to prove that at least some aspects of astrology actually have scientific merit. Just beginning, but we're getting there. So anyway, I wrote a few other things down. Mars trines Jupiter, then trines Saturn. Mercury trines Neptune. Mercury and Jupiter have the strongest gravitational effects on the sun. Jupiter, due to its sheer mass, like Jupiter is I think 1.3 times greater mass than all the other planets combined, or maybe even more than that. So that has an effect on gravity. Mercury's closest to the sun, so that has an effect. And it, like I said before, it actually causes these rotations, causes the sun to wobble a little bit. And again, that can help to tear plasma off the sun. That affects the Earth and affects everything. So it strengthens these effects. So 3i Atlas will be 1.8 astronomical units from the sun when it has its closest approach on the 29th. So it's, 3.8 times the distance of the sun is what that means. So it's kind of far away, but it's close enough given its size and its potential electromagnetic influence based on the large dusty plasma coma. Now, Oumuamua, which passed much closer to the sun, was inside the orbit of Mercury, but is much smaller than 3I Atlas, and it had virtually no coma, had a huge effect on the sun. And in fact, the two largest solar flares happened in 2017 when Oumuamua was passing inside the orbit of Mercury. But that was 2 years after solar maximum, so it was actually in the descending phase when the strongest activity happened. So again, it could be a coincidence, and this is all based on probability as well as intuition. Nothing may happen, but chances highly favored that this passage is going to increase solar activity, is going to increase geological activity, more importantly, make some profound shifts in the collective consciousness that's going to lead to profound shifts here on planet Earth. So based on remote viewing, sensing, message I get from spirit, as well as the science as I understand it, this is what I believe 3I Atlas is, why it's here, and what changes are going to happen on the Earth and to humanity. And please, if you enjoy this video, give it a like so we can get it out to more people. Share this video, comment, and if you enjoy this video and you want to see more like it come up on your home page, please subscribe to the channel. So anyhow, basically, it could be some kind of an alien craft or probe that's certainly on the table. It's doing some pretty crazy things that would defy the odds. But I still believe that technically it's an interstellar object. It's traveled from very, very far away. It's come out of the planet Sagittarius, right around where galactic center is. So the belief is that it's from somewhere in the inner galaxy, the inner Milky Way, and the laws are different. There's different information and such. But it's very possible that it actually is some kind of an alien probe also that has the appearance and the makeup of an object too. So either one, like I was saying in the beginning, I do believe that there is consciousness associated with it, intention and purpose on an interdimensional level. But I also believe that everything that we experience outside of ourselves is born from within. So I don't necessarily see 3I Atlas as this emissary of change. I believe that the change is happening. The shift in consciousness is happening, that we are shifting to higher dimensional realities, and we are ascending, we are awakening, and that what happens on the outside is a reflection of what's going on in the inside. And this 3I Atlas and other things that are going on in the solar system is a reflection of the changes that are happening from within. It's sort of like something that we can see, that we can more wrap our brains around to show that miracles are happening, that upgrades are happening, basically. So in any event, so like I said, I also believe it's consciousness to be some kind of probe. My sense is that it's intelligent, right? So it's beyond our understanding and has more of an interdimensional quality. And I don't believe it's here to upgrade consciousness, but rather it's a reflection or sign that consciousness is upgrading. So I'm just recounting in my notes what I just told you. And physical reality is always going to be a reflection of inner reality or energy or frequency. And they're one and the same. It's all connected. And one of the messages is that everything in the cosmos is connected. Everything has life. Everything has consciousness. So I believe it's here to exchange energy with our collective fields, with the Earth, with the solar system, to add to our experiences, so to provide information to us as well as to receive information from us. And part of that information is we're all connected. We're not alone. and there is a divine intelligence, there is a divine source that we're all a part of, and we're all part of it, and it's part of us, basically. I'm seeing it as as it passes behind the sun. I'm seeing it like changing shapes or even ejecting something. So that was something that I got recently in remote sensing, and that it changing colors and shape again and configuration. What it releases may be some illuminated plasma. Whether we're going to see that or not behind the sun and out of our view because it's going to be in the glare of the sun, I don't know. But I think we're going to catch wind of it one way or another if I'm getting the information accurately. So I see it as an interdimensional beacon of sorts that will interact with the physical solar system with consciousness, will initiate energetic pulses that trigger global ascension and will help to integrate within the conscious field and again help precipitate the global awakening. It may catalyze cataclysms. We are in the storm. We're in the cosmic storm. I've explained that before. Just like any other storm, storms come to clear things, to blow down the trees, to wash away with the waters. So it's got to clear the old in order for the new to come. So that's what storms do. They clear the old so new growth can come in. So it may create certain cataclysms here on earth. But remember, we are part of divine consciousness and we have help. So things tend to manifest not in their worst case scenario. So we're being guided through the changes, even though some of them may be very challenging. We're going to be okay. And hopefully suffering will be kept to a minimum as these cataclysms and change happen here on earth. So it's again clearing for new consciousness and positive changes in the world, basically. It is life in so much as it draws from the same universal intelligence that we do and all of consciousness draws from. So it's part of that same conscious field, the universal intelligence. So it does carry intelligence. It carries resonance and frequency and intention. And it's expressing it in very specific ways to my intuitive understanding based on that and what I know about the science. And it's not likely to be a beacon of change, of higher consciousness, of the great shift that we're in right now. Some are equating it to the rapture, basically, and I've seen more and more videos like that come up. Now, we did a short recently. It was a good several weeks, if not a month, before I started to hear that idea, where it's kind of equating it to the Christmas star and kind of using those types of analogies to describe what Three-Eye Atlas may be and how it may be affecting us, whether it lights up as a physical Christmas star. Well, that would indeed be a miracle because astrophysics would say no to that, just to be clear. But stranger things have happened, right? But some are equating to that. Now, so I do believe metaphorically this to be the case, and I shall explain why. And that heaven, the rapture again is the second coming of Christ, right? Where all the souls that are following in the path of righteousness get led to heaven by Christ or by Jesus. I mean, I know that's kind of a simplistic view on what the rapture is, but for understanding that'll suffice. So, indeed, the great cosmic shift may be another way of explaining the rapture. And indeed, there may be something in consciousness. Now, there may be a new spiritual teacher. There is a second coming or a third or fourth coming, or however you want to look at that. It may not come in the form of a man or a woman. It may come in a different form. But I do believe that that's happening. And I do believe that this interstellar object with its energetic fields, its effects on consciousness, the effects on the earth and everything, is shifting us into higher dimensional reality, into ascending, as it were, to the fifth dimension or beyond, which all dimensions are happening simultaneous, by the way. It's really where our focus and where our energy is going to dictate which dimension we're going to be more aligned to. So would we not consider like the fifth, sixth, seventh dimension as a metaphor or a description of what heaven is? So I do believe there's parallels there. So I don't think these people are nuts or anything. It may not be literal, but I do believe it's happening anyway. So in the meantime, expect further increases of our solar storms, which can affect communication and power outages, geology, earthquakes, and volcanoes ramping up. We're gearing up for another push, which is going to lead to one of, if not the most geologically active years in history since we've been keeping record, which obviously is a small sample size, but still it's significant because it's panning over 100 years, basically. Upticks in political strife, geopolitical strife, warring and all that stuff upticks, as it often happens during these solar maximums. Then you add an extra energetic pulse of 3i Atlas and other planetary alignments. But again, these are all like the karma's rising to the surface, things that have been held within our individual fields and the planetary fields for thousands of years. This higher energy releases it. There's responses. Things happen. It's not pleasant. People die and suffer. It's not pleasant, but it's releasing that energy so we can come into a higher vibration. So also as a result of that, I do believe that a lot of more corruption is going to rise to the surface. A lot more is going to be exposed, and that's going to be a big part of the shift into a more fair and just system of world government, world politics, and all that stuff, as well as greater scientific understanding, greater spiritual understanding, and everything. So as the old falls, and it's unsustainable in these higher frequencies, these old structures in our world built on greed, power over others, they have to fall. And I do believe that this is another catalyst, this passage of 3i Atlas, this interstellar but conscious object that's exchanging information with us in the universe. It's precipitating and accelerating that. And 3i and Atlas and other factors, with their powerful energy signatures, catalyze the changes. So how to prepare? We're coming into, we've been preparing already. We've energetically been experiencing increases, big ups and downs in the energies affecting us. Some of that is being shown to us through solar storms and activity and things of that nature. The Schumann resonance, if you know how to read it, not to take every weight out as something metaphysical, because usually that's atmospheric conditions around Tomsk, Russia, usually. But anyway, I'm digressing a little bit. But not all of them. Some of them are showing the spikes in consciousness and energy and frequency that's affecting the Earth. So basically, what's happening with these ups and downs of energy, the solar flaring, and the cosmic shifts that are creating that are creating changes within our bodies, our energetic fields, our mind, and our perspectives. We've got to take good care of ourselves. So start to eat well, take care of your bodies. That's the temple of your soul. You need strong bodies because it's affecting the nervous system, this energy. If the body's in poor shape, that's not going to be good for your health, and it's not going to be good for your psyche. People are, as you can see, literally going crazy out there, but not you. Not if you take good care of yourself, spiritually as well as physically. So start your meditation work, start your grounding, do your shadow, do your heart-brain coherence. We have resources and videos on the Medium channel for all of that stuff, because we're ascending and we all want to ascend. We don't want to be left in the lower energies as Earth splits or as consciousness splits. We want to go into the higher timelines or the higher realities. We've got to take care of our bodies, do breath work, do grounding, and research how to take care of yourself. That's the best advice. Drink lots of water, get your bodies together, create more elasticity and flow through spiritual exercise and stuff like that. If our bodies are more fluent because the social conditioning and the programming makes us very rigid, and when we're rigid, these energies have a hard time moving through us, it becomes uncomfortable, it creates ascension symptoms, then we give up. So do that work, and then you're going to ascend, and you're going to start to develop new spiritual gifts and abilities, new insights, new intuitions, and new gifts and new purpose and direction is going to show up in your life. This 3-eye atlas is an emissary. We're creating it through consciousness, and it's creating us and our changes. So that's what I have for you. Hopefully that's helpful. And over here, I'll flash a video with some of the autumn psychic predictions that are very important and pertinent to these times that we need to know. And I'll flash that original video. It's a little bit dated because it's from mid-August, but it'd be interesting to see what I was able to pick up on before any of this stuff was known. So hopefully that's helpful. Please comment, like, and share, and we'll see you at the next video. Namaste.